Welcome to Sunday. It is January 23rd. It is 11:35 a.m. in the morning. And today I'd like to talk about the difference between dreaming and astral projection, at least the difference in my experiences. And I'd also like to kind of touch on the importance of dreams and why I don't believe that they should ever be discarded. I know I see this many times on the subreddit. People will just kind of say, I think I was dreaming, and then they'll just go on to something else. But I think that dreams are very, very important when it comes to astral projection, because it gives that other part of us, it gives us the opportunity to communicate with that deeper part of us. And that deeper part of us, I believe, can assist us in being able to leave our bodies. I wanted to really quickly, however, before I get started into today's episode, to again, and I don't talk much about my podcast, but I wanted to just take a moment to just put it out there. For those of you who don't know, I do have a podcast, and it's called Nawi of the Lightning Tribe. Now, it is not based in astral projection, though I suppose there are certain elements that come into the story that may seem familiar to you at times, but this is not an astral projection project. This is more of it's interesting. Someone had written that they characterize it as an urban fantasy, and it involves a young girl by the name of Nawi, and she not only protects the planet, but also protects the power of creation itself from the god of war. So it is a story that I've put a lot of work into, and well, if you want to check it out, I will put a link in the description. So let's talk about the difference between dreams and astral projection, at least from my own point of view. Now, also keep in mind that this does not necessarily include lucid dreaming, which is a whole other subject altogether. I used to do much more lucid dreaming when I was very, very young, when I was before my astral projection experiences, 8, 9 years old. Right before I started astral projecting, I was doing lucid dreaming and honestly didn't realize that was what it was. So first, you should know, for those of you who may just be listening to this channel for the first time, other than my beyond body experiences and my astral projection experiences, I dream a lot, and I've mentioned it on this channel before. If I'm not having an experience, I'm usually dreaming. I don't normally go a night or a nap without having some sort of dream or experience. And I believe as a result of my travels out there, that my dreams are extremely clear. And I wonder for others out there who astral project, and I know that there are others out there that listen to this channel that do experience astral projection. I wonder if you have the same experience with dreaming, that seems to have much more clarity to you. I believe that this probably has something to do with the connection with the other parts of us that develops as a result of astral projection. Again, I've talked about the importance, and I cannot stress this enough, the importance of the relationship with you, the relationship that you have with yourself. I know that there are many people out there that discount this or don't talk about this, but trust me when I tell you, this is an important, very, very important thing, and something that if you are working on astral projection, can assist you, really truly assist you in achieving your goal. Now, for me, the biggest difference between a dream and astral projection is that when I'm dreaming, I am a part of the reality, unaware of being in the dream state. Now, again, this obviously does not include lucid dreaming, which again, is another subject. When one is lucid dreaming, they are aware that they are dreaming, but I'm talking about normal dreams at this point. And in a normal dream, I'm not usually, or if ever, aware that there is a dream that's going on. In other words, I'm not lucid at that point. When I astral project, I have a sense that I am awake and aware of what's happening to me. But this sense of consciousness is different. For example, I wouldn't attempt to walk through a wall or leap into the air with the expectation of flight in the 3D world. But when I'm astral projecting or when I'm on the astral plane, this feels completely normal. And in the dream state, if I'm not lucid, the thought of doing this, leaping into the air, flying, doing these things, it probably would never come to mind unless, of course, I'm dreaming that I'm Superman, which when I was a kid, since Superman was my favorite comic book character, I used to have dreams like that. So not unusual at that age for me to dream of being Superman. So number two, the construct of my dreams, meaning the architecture, people, and landscape, are usually familiar. They're either pieces of my past and present fused together, sometimes in extremely unusual ways, or they are things that I may have seen on television or in the movies that had an impact on me. Now, I'll give another example here. I'm currently watching a show on Netflix called Clickbait. And without going into the specifics, I'm not going to, because for those of you who may want to see it and haven't had an opportunity to check it out, if I did go into specifics about it, I'd probably ruin it for you. So I'm not going to go into the specifics. But let's just say that it has some scary elements to it. And last night, after watching an episode of the show, I dreamt that two men had hidden behind the curtain in my patio, and they basically attacked me. Now, I believe this bad dream, and it was a bad dream, nightmare. I believe that this may have been a direct result of watching this show. On the other hand, when I experience astral projection and the beyond body, many of the things I encounter aren't familiar to me at all. I'll talk about a few experiences that come to mind. I remember in one of the experiences, this was a beyond body experience. I was walking through a neighborhood in a reality where the beings or the people lived up in trees, and the houses that were, they weren't like tree houses, the ones that are built of wood, the ones that kids create, or sometimes adults create those as well. These houses that were up in trees were completely forged of leaves. They were completely made of leaves. And the way that they were shaped and everything were like houses, but they were completely made of leaves. And I couldn't figure out how all the leaves stayed together and things, but it was a a very interesting visual, let's just say. Very, very interesting. Or the other beyond body experience I had where I went to a movie theater and the movie screen, was completely composed of water and suspended in midair. There was no source where this water was coming from. Like it wasn't connected to anything. It was just floating in midair. Or the time I astral projected to a house that was as tall as a building, and I could see as I was approaching the house 2 Roman numerals that were glowing on the roof, VI, and they were embedded into the roof of the house. And through the window, I saw 2 ladies dressed in Victoria clothing. In fact, they had Victorian dresses, and they were having a conversation and they were completely unaware of my presence. So these experiences were beyond familiar to me. They weren't anywhere near familiar to me when I experienced them. And I don't believe I could ever have imagined them before they actually occurred. They weren't a part of my imagination. They were very surprising to me when I experienced them. So it didn't feel familiar, and it did not feel like a dream at all. This was something that was completely new to me. So the third part to this, to the difference between, for me, the difference between astral projection and dreaming is what my gut tells me, what my instincts tell me. And again, for those of you who have listened to many of my videos on this channel, you'll know that I am a big believer in trusting your instincts. It is what I trust the most when I'm out there. And when I am in the astral plane or doing beyond body, my instincts are always heightened. Like I know I can feel certain things, and I know, when things make sense or when they don't make sense. So trusting your instincts. I trust my instincts when it comes to evaluating whether I am having an astral experience, a beyond body experience, or just a normal dream. So this is very important. It helps me, and I think that it can assist you in your own experiences. And when you're questioning whether you're having a dream or whether it is astral projection, ask your gut. What does your gut tell you? It's something that I also, when I respond to people, sometimes in the subreddit, people will ask, is this a dream or is this astral projection? I will say, what do your instincts tell you? It's a very important thing. Now, the last part to this is I wanted to talk about dreams as a tool to assist you in astral projection. I believe it may give you an opportunity when you're dreaming to communicate with the part of you that is able to leave your body. Of course, this requires you to reach out to that part of you and thoughts, which you can do when you're in your waking life, walking around, or if you're just lying down, relaxing. You can put those thoughts out there that, for example, you're interested in astral projection, you want to leave your body, that kind of thing. And the important part to this is when you put those thoughts out there, to be very aware and pay attention to the dreams that follow. A lot of people don't, unfortunately. They're like, oh, these are just dreams. These aren't important. This isn't astral projection. But what I'm telling you, for those of you who are trying to astral project, please pay attention to your dreams. Many times it is that deeper part of you that is attempting perhaps to reach out to you, maybe to give you the message the message that is the key to you leaving your body. And perhaps, you're ignoring it, discarding it because, hey, it's a dream. It's not astral projection. So pay attention, guys. Pay attention. Anyway, thank you so much for coming on this Sunday journey with me. And until next time, take care.